Hey y'all, it's Sierra. I'm back with another pick a card reading or pick a card video. So in this video, I'm going to be using all of the astrology decks that I have. I have 3 of them. So this is basically just going to be what you need to hear at the time of you watching this video. And it's going to be messages from the astrology decks that I use. So if you have your birth chart, you definitely will want to have that handy with you if you can while you watch this reading, or if you know what your placements are, that will definitely be helpful. I'm not an astrologer. I'm learning astrology right now, so I can't tell you everything when it comes to astrology. So take the time to look in your birth chart and research it yourself. That's the best way to learn sometimes. You can go on, I think it's called Astrology Cafe, to get a free copy of your birth chart. You will need to know the time you were born, the city and the state, and your date of birth as well. In order to get your birth chart, especially in order to know what your rising sign is. If you don't know what sun, moon, rising is, your sun sign is how you express yourself, the moon sign is your emotions, the rising is how other people see you, and your Venus sign is how you express love or how you want people to express love to you, aka your love language. Alright, so the decks that I'm going to be using are the Kaleidodope Astrology Deck by Crystal Banner, the Astro Soul Oracle deck, and this is by Maria Praina, I think. Hopefully I said that right. And also the Moonology Oracle cards by Yasmin Boland. And I'm going to be using my Rider-Waite deck. I'm going to be using the True Heart Tarot by Rachel True as well. So I think that's all the decks I'm using in this video. But of course, we start off the videos with the pile choices. So you are going to want to pick one of these cards in order to pick the pile that has the reading for you. Now you want to pick a pile that resonates with you. You don't want to pick a pile based on if you think the image is positive or negative. Pick something that resonates with you. Maybe you've seen one of these symbols lately. Maybe you've talked about one of these animals lately. Maybe you are going over a bridge. You're the passenger in the car and you're going over a bridge right now while you're watching this. For however you pick your pile, just make sure you're not picking it based on if you think it's positive or negative. Pick whatever is calling you. If you need help with that, you can ask your spirit guides to help you. Take some time to stare at the piles. See which one stands out for you. The more and more you watch these videos, the easier it will be for you to pick a pile that resonates with you. The reason why you want to pick a pile that resonates with you is because you don't want to pick the wrong pile and it does not have the messages that you need. Sometimes there will be more than one pile that resonates with you, but try to pick one. Alright, so we have pile number 1, which is the star. Pile number 2, which is the snake. Pile number 3, which is the lantern. Pile number 4 is the pathway or the bridge. So again, pile number 1 is the star, pile number 2 is the snake, pile number 3 is the lantern, and pile number 4 is the pathway. Once you have decided which pile resonates with you, you can go ahead and look in the description box or the comment section to click the timestamp that will take you directly to that pile, so that way you don't have to watch the other readings. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I definitely do appreciate it, and I'll see you at your piles. Bye. Hey, group number 1, you all chose the star. So when I think about a star, I think about navigation. I think about being guided somewhere. I also think about renewal, and also someone who has the spotlight on them, someone who is, meant to be seen, someone who wants to be seen. There's so many different ways we can go with the star. So we're going to go ahead and get into your reading, and maybe we can get some more information about why you were drawn to the star card. All right, so this is going to be a reading, basically just what you need to hear right now, but I used all of the astrology decks that I have to get the messages from this reading. So if you know the placements in your birth chart, you may want to go back to it and take a look at some of these things that may come up in the reading, some of the placements in your birth chart. It's definitely helpful to know your birth chart. If I remember, I will put a link to Cafe Astrology, which is where I got my birth chart, and then I also use CoStar and Time Passages as well. And I look on YouTube also to try to piece together what's going on with me by researching my birth chart. All right, so now that I got that out of the way, the first card is Libra. So you could be a Libra, sun, moon, or rising, or you could have Libra in your Venus as your Venus sign. Libra is ruled by Venus, and we also have the Venus card here. So if you're not aware, Venus is basically how you express love and how you want people to express love to you. So if you want to know what your love language is or what the love language is of the person you're dealing with, you can check into the Venus sign on either your birth chart or their birth chart. All right, so again, Libra is ruled by Venus. Libra is about being creative, and a lot of people will say that Libras are very attractive. They're nice to look at. So you may be someone that is concerned with the way that you look, the way that you appear to others. Other people may find you very attractive. And you may also be like a very creative person because you like to make things look nice. But also you want to be careful about worrying too much about how other people see you, perceive you, what they think about you, how you show up in the world, how you look to other people. You don't want to be too concerned with that. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because we have the 10th house status card. So it says public image as the first keyword. So we have public image, authority, success, ambition, fame, and recognition. All right, so that makes a whole lot of sense with the star card, because what do we call people that are famous? What do we call people that have a lot of attention on them, that people really like? We call them stars. All right, now what is one of the biggest problems that I think stars have? You know, it's like a rich people problem, right? A first world problem. But it's that people judge them a lot based off of the things that they do. And we may not fully understand what's going on in their lives. We just know what we're being presented with. Oops, sorry, I made the camera shake. We just know what we're being presented with and what we see, and then we make judgments on them based off of that. So you definitely, again, want to be careful about how you present yourself and make sure you're being authentic with the way you present yourself. We have the waxing crescent, surrender, restore, reflection, intuition, and stillness. And we have the sun, expression. Okay, so we all know our sun sign. A lot of us don't know the moon or the rising, but I'm pretty sure most of us know our sun sign. That's basically when somebody asks, what's your sign? So that is the way that you express yourself. And depending on where your sun sign is, that determines how you express yourself. But for this reading, this is basically shining a light on just making sure that you're being authentic with the way that you express yourself, and don't express yourself based off of what other people want or what you think other people might want. Because sometimes we are harder on ourselves than we really have to be, because people aren't really looking for us to be perfect. A lot of the times people can relate better to people that they know that have had problems, gone through problems, and overcome them. So it's okay to let people know that you may have gone through some things, you may have made some bad choices, but what they're looking for is, how did you overcome that? If you haven't been through anything, you can't tell anybody anything. Meaning, if you grew up like rich with a silver spoon in your mouth and you have had no problems whatsoever, not to say that rich people don't have problems, but it's going to be hard for you to draw in a crowd of people that have had a hard life. They were born on the wrong side of the tracks per se. They didn't have much growing up, and you're trying to teach them how to go from nothing to something, essentially. Well, how can you teach me that when you came into the world with everything that you could ever want? You didn't really have to work for anything. That's just an example. So people like to know your struggles in some cases because they want to use them against you or make you feel bad about yourself, but in a lot of cases they want to know how you overcame your struggles because they may be trying to overcome the same thing. All right, so I am getting that you are supposed to be a leader. We do have the Hierophant card, and again, the 10th house states authority, and the sun states being a leader, leadership. Okay, and pride. We're going to get back to that pride in a minute. So you are meant to be a leader. You are meant to show people the way. That's another reason why you may have been drawn to the star card. You are meant to show people the way. But the way that you are meant to do that, the way that you will be most effective in doing that is being a little bit vulnerable and letting people in, letting people know the real authentic you, and not trying to present yourself in a perfect package. Okay, a lot of the times people worry about how they wrap a gift, but who really cares? Like, I just want the gift that's inside. I don't care how pretty the wrapping paper looks. I don't care if you put it in a bag. I don't care if you don't put it in a bag. I don't care about the presentation. I care about the gift that's inside. Now, of course, we all want to present ourselves in a way that shows that we are respectful to ourselves and we are respectful to others. Okay, we all want to make sure that we look nice, but don't take it too far is what I'm saying. Don't take it too far to where you are basing the way that you portray yourself to the world on how other people are going to perceive you in your mind, because a lot of the times you're being harder on yourself. You're being more critical of yourself than other people would be in the first place. In the Hierophant, although it can represent a leader, although it can represent a teacher, it also represents conformity. It represents, doing things the same old way that things have always been done. It's time to step outside of the box. It's time to if you have different little quirks about you, show those to people. Don't try to be like everyone else. You're meant to stand out. That's what stars do. They are meant to stand out. Okay? I think the sun is a star. Also, we have the sun card. The sun stands out amongst all of the other stars because it's different. It's not what we typically think when we think about a star. Okay, group number 1, I'm back. Sorry, I always forget to delete stuff off of my memory card before I start making a video, and either the camera cuts off because I run out of space or it overheats. So sorry, one day I'm gonna get it together. Sorry, I'm just moving this to make sure y'all can see. One day I'm gonna get it together. So I don't even know exactly where I left off. I do know we were talking about the 6 of Pentacles, how that represents give and take, reciprocity, and you want to make sure that you are being genuine in what you're giving to other people, but it also represents being balanced. So we have the 10 of Wands, which is showing that you have this burden on you, and it can be very hard to try to portray an image based on what other people may think about you or how other people may perceive you. So with the 6 of Pentacles, it also represents balance. We all care about what other people think about us. I think that, for people to say they don't ever care about what anyone thinks about them is not necessarily true, but you have to be balanced with it. So you can't care so much that you're not able to fully be yourself because you're worried about how other people are going to perceive you and how other people are going to take you. You're just going to have to get out of your comfort zone and start being yourself. And the people that are meant to be with you, the people that are meant to go with you to the next level in life, the people that are meant to support you, they're going to stick with you. Okay? The people that aren't meant to be there with you, they might leave, but that's okay. They're not supposed to be with you. In order for you to find who you genuinely are supposed to help in life and who's supposed to help you, you're going to have to be yourself. Otherwise, you're attracting people that aren't supposed to help you on your mission, for example. So you want to be able to attract the right people, the people that are ordained to help you, the people that are it was already written in your soul contract for you to meet these people in order to help you. But in order to attract everything that's meant for you, you're gonna have to start being your authentic self. Okay? And with the 10 of Wands, again, if you're not able to do so, it's not very freeing to have to constantly think about what people are going to think about you if you say a certain thing, if you support a certain movement, if you disagree with what the mainstream media is putting out there. It's okay to be different. Again, going back to the sun is a star, but it's not like the typical stars that we think about when we think about stars. Okay, so we have balanced spirituality and practicality, full moon in Pisces. So it's possible that you could be a Pisces, or it could be somewhere significant in your birth chart. So we have Libra and Pisces for the most part, as far as which zodiac signs could be watching this reading. So if you have any of those two in a significant place in your birth chart, whether it be sun, moon, rising, or Venus, this reading could definitely be for you. Okay, so going back to the waxing crescent, surrender to feeling like you have to present yourself in a pretty box. Back to the gift analogy. Most people don't care what's in the box. They don't care how it's wrapped. They don't care if it's in a gift bag. They don't care if you give it to them and it's not even in a bag for the most part. They just want the gift. They just want what's inside. Okay? Don't be worried about the presentation too much. Okay? Yes, to some extent you should carry yourself a certain type of way, again, in a way that respects yourself and that is respectful to others. But if you're too worried about the outside, how people see you, you're not letting people inside, you're not letting people see the real true you, that's going to be a block for you. That's going to block your abundance, because it's blocking you being able to complete your mission. It's blocking you being able to attract all the people and opportunities that are meant for you. So this is not to say you're not abundant or prosperous, but you could be more abundant and more prosperous. And you will be as soon as you start expressing yourself more. If you don't even truly know who you are, that's a problem too. So maybe it's time to sit back and really think about who you are, who you want to be, how you want to express yourself, and see if that matches what you're actually doing. Okay, so we have the emotions are running high, supermoon. That's all right too. If you're one of those people that thinks you can't show emotion, everybody has to show emotion at one point or another. And not all of us are comfortable showing it to everyone. I'm one of those people. My moon is in Capricorn, and I have Capricorn in a lot of places in my chart, but the moon specifically is your emotions, and for Capricorns it's logic over emotion for the most part. I don't really show people my emotion. I don't really argue with emotion. I'm more of a logical person than an emotional person. But again, there needs to be a balance. Okay, with the balanced spirituality and practicality, I feel like you're a little bit too practical. You might want to tap into spirituality a little bit more. Okay, that's going to help you to be able to drop your guard down a little bit so that you can truly show people who you really are meant to be. So that's what I have, pile number 1. I hope it resonated with you all. If it did, please feel free to leave a comment, and also please like the video if you enjoyed it, and please feel free to share this video if you feel called to. And of course, I would love if you would subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. I greatly appreciate all the people who have subscribed already, and all the people that take the time to engage by leaving comments or liking the video. So I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Bye. Hey, group number 2, you all chose the snake. Alright, so when I think about a snake, of course I think about somebody being deceitful, but that's not always the case. It can also represent knowledge, wisdom. It was, in the Bible, it was the snake that gave Eve, he kind of coaxed her to eat from the tree of knowledge, or whatever the heck it was called. That tree where she took the apple off of the tree, and that kind of made her conscious and aware of everything that was going on in the world. Y'all, it's been a long time since I've been in church, so I'm starting to forget some stuff. But anyways, so the snake can represent wisdom. It can represent shedding your old skin and renewal, basically. So there's a couple different directions this reading can go in, so let's go ahead and get started. So we have retrograde Saturn again. So we have Saturn from 2 different decks. So Saturn represents discipline. Saturn represents being taught lessons. It represents obstacles, restriction. And it rules Capricorn. Okay, so wherever Saturn is in your birth chart, you might find that area of life is harder for you to prosper in, or it just seems like it takes so much work for you to make things happen in that particular area of life. So for example, my Saturn is in the 6th house, I believe, and 6th house represents your work life, professional life. I swear, I never get recognized for anything at work. I'm always doing more work than everyone else. Everyone knows my work product is, superior, but it still seems like I get overlooked a lot. And that's because I have Saturn in the 6th house. Okay, so that area of life is just going to be a little bit harder for me, but later on in life, I will be rewarded in that area. So Saturn is there to teach you lessons. Saturn is there to discipline you. Saturn is there to create obstacles, but the obstacles are there to help you learn. Saturn represents restriction. So it's not the most happiest, placement to look into. But with us having Saturn twice in this reading in retrograde, that's telling me that you've probably been through a lot lately. Maybe throughout your whole life, if you're under 30. Because I think they say that in your 30s, that's when Saturn starts to reward you. I just turned 30, so I'm waiting on Saturn to give me my rewards because I've learned my lessons, okay? So you may have had it hard throughout your whole life, or you might be having a hard time just right now if you are over 30. And that's because there are lessons that you needed to learn, but those lessons are going to help you in the long run as long as you actually did the work to learn the lessons. Okay, we have opposition, which is the key word is confrontation. So reflecting, mirroring, seeing balance, test. Okay, Saturn is definitely there to test you. Okay, push-pull dynamic, conflict. So if you've been having conflicts with people, it could be that they were mirroring you. Okay, a lot of the times when we have issues with other people, it's because they are reflecting something within ourselves that needs to be healed. Even if it's not something that is in the conscious, it could be subconscious, meaning you don't even know you have that problem. You might not even act like you have that problem. Nobody might know that this might be something that you're dealing with, because you might be able to present yourself well, kind of like a functioning alcoholic. They have an alcohol problem, but people might not necessarily know it, because when they go out in public, they can function like a normal everyday person who does not have an alcoholic addiction. So if you are finding that you're constantly arguing with people or fighting with people or a particular person, it could be because that person is mirroring you, and they are brought into your life to show you something that needs to be healed within yourself. Okay. So we also have the Nine of Swords. Okay, so you might be feeling down, you might be feeling a little depressed. Just try to stay positive. I know it's hard when people say that, but I'm seeing some good things that are going to be happening for you. But again, your mindset is very important, so you don't want to manifest things that you don't want. You want to manifest things that you want to happen. So the way that you think is very important. Okay, so a lot of the stuff that you might think is happening might just all be in your mind, or you could be creating more and more negative circumstances based on the way that you're thinking. If you're always focusing on the negative, the glass being half empty instead of the glass being half full, then you can create more and more resistance. Okay, because it's kind of like, well, she didn't learn the lesson, he didn't learn the lesson, let's throw some more obstacles at her until they get it. Okay, now the reason why I say that is because we do have it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. You could be a Scorpio, or it could be somewhere significant in your chart, like sun, moon, rising, or maybe the ninth house, since we have ninth house card. I'm not that great with astrology, so you'll have to get your birth chart and look into it to see what your placements are. Okay, but it's time to release negativity. It's time to release the things you're holding on to in your mind and possibly in your subconscious, so that you can attract the good things that are meant to come to you. Because Saturn does discipline. Saturn does restrict you, but like I said, it also rewards you as you continue to do the work, as you continue to show that you are disciplined. Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands. Okay, now look, on the Eight of Wands, they have the brain highlighted. This represents manifestation. This represents using your mind to propel things forward in the way that you want them to go. And the Nine of Swords card also has the brain being highlighted, but there's like worms and all that, you know, nasty parasites and whatever inside of the mind. And we have the swords pointing towards the head and the brain. In the Eight of Wands, we have the wands going away. Okay, so you are essentially learning how to transmute energy. This negativity that's going in is coming out. So it's going in with the Nine of Swords, and it's coming out with the Eight of Wands as energy that can help to propel you forward. Okay, that's what transmutation is. You are changing something that's negative and that's meant to hurt you, that's meant to restrict you, and you are turning it into something that can help you, turning lemons into lemonade. Okay, and both of those pictures are talking about the brain. They both depict the brain, which is not typically how you see the Eight of Wands at all. So the fact that I chose this deck and both of those cards show the different dynamics of, this is the negative side of your mind, and this is the positive side of your mind. So you get to choose how you want to use your brain, how you want to use your thoughts. Are you going to use them to help you or to hurt you? If you do choose to use them to help you, there is a win-win outcome in the forecast. So we have that card here, and it says full moon in Libra. So it's possible you could be a Libra, but also this represents balance. Libra can represent balance, and that's why we have the two opposite ends of your mind, of your brain. There needs to be a balance, and you definitely don't want more of the Nine of Swords than you do of the Eight of Wands. This is to show that we're not all perfect. Okay, we can't all think positively all the time. We're gonna have negative thoughts. As long as there is the proper balance between the two, again, you can take negativity and turn it around and make it work for you. So that's what you're being called to do here, because it says you're very close to achieving your goal. Okay? That's what I was saying with Saturn. It restricts you, but it rewards you as well. You're close. You're to the end of the finish line. You just have to, make it across. And you don't want your mind to stop you. You don't want to have to hit the reset button. You don't want to have to start over. What happens when we don't learn our lesson? We have to start over. We get more lessons thrown at us. We get more obstacles thrown at us. It's like you're going to learn however long it takes you to learn. We got more for you. We have more homework for you if you need it. Okay? If you want to be in the accelerated program and graduate early, you better demonstrate that you're learning your lessons, okay? So that is what I have for you all. I hope that resonated. I feel like this pile definitely is something I can relate to. I'm a Capricorn moon. I have Capricorn all over in my chart. Saturn rules Capricorn. Okay, so this has been my life. And I have had to learn how to be the alchemist, the magician, how to transmute things that have gone wrong in life and use them to work for me. And once I learned how to do that, things have been a lot easier for me. So definitely look into the law of transmutation, look into the law of attraction, look into all the universal laws, okay? They definitely help you. It's not going to hurt you to do that. Look to see where Saturn is in your birth chart. That's how you know where the difficulties might be in life, and how you know that you might want to work on those things. Don't get too discouraged. It's kind of in the stars. It was part of the plan for you to struggle in that particular area, but if you do the work, you're going to make it out on top. Okay? Alright, so again, hopefully that resonated with you. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If it did resonate, please feel free to leave a comment. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like it and share it if you feel called to do so. And also, if you're not subscribed, I would love to have you as a subscriber on my channel, and that way so you can see when I upload new videos. I'm going to try to be more and more consistent with my uploads, and I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Hey, group number 3, you all chose the lantern. All right, so when I think about lantern, I think about being shown the way, being guided, being the light in the darkness, okay? So it's also like makes me wonder when is the light gonna go out? Like, cause this candle run out, you kind of gotta like get things done when they need to be done. Okay, you don't want this candle to run out and then you don't have the light anymore. All right, so this reading is going to be basically what you need to hear right now, but I'm using all of my astrology decks. So if you have your birth chart handy, you can definitely take a look at some of these placements, some of the signs that come up, to see if they're in your birth chart and where they are in your birth chart, or what signs are in which particular house in your birth chart. I'll try to link Astro Cafe, I think is what it's called. I'll try to link the place where I got my birth chart from, so that way if you're interested in looking into it, you can. Okay, so the first card we have is Capricorn. So you could be a Capricorn sun, moon, rising, or Venus. Okay, so you might want to look at your birth chart to see if Capricorn is in any of those places. And then we have the 5th house. Okay, so the key word or phrase is I create. And it says this is the house of self-expression and the pleasure of showing who we truly are. Here we see one's creativity and artistic vision, how we like to have fun, playfulness, and pleasure, games of chance, love affairs, and also children. Okay, so this sounds like it's going to be a lot like group number 1. So if you were struggling between choosing group number 1 and this group, you might want to go watch group number 1 too, because it seems like the same message is going to be coming out here just based on that 1st house or 5th house card. Okay, so then we have 1st house, self, physical appearance, early childhood goals, desires, individuality, temperament, personality, identity, and self-image. Okay, so again, sounds very similar to group number 1. And then we have 5th house, again, pleasure, romance, creativity, fertility, sex, children, childlike fun, joy, love, passion, entertainment. Okay, so what I'm getting here is image is important to you, but I'm feeling like, especially with the Capricorn is about their business, okay? Capricorn is about logic over emotion. How do I know? I have Capricorn in so many places in my birth chart, including my moon sign. So if you have Capricorn as your moon sign, because we have children coming up a lot here, if you had issues as a child with your mother, or if you felt like you had to grow up fast, like you had to be an adult at an early age, or if you have like an old soul, that could be because you have a Capricorn moon, if that is your moon placement. Okay, so it's kind of like laid out to be like that. But also it's kind of like you need to have fun. We have pleasure here and pleasure here, okay? Playfulness and pleasure, okay? How we like to have fun. With Capricorns, work can come before anything else. So if you are working, it's time to get out and enjoy yourself. It's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Do you want to just work hard for the rest of your life, but you never get to enjoy it? Okay, we all need to have fun. We all need to get out from time to time. We all need to put interest in our hobbies. Now the thing about me, because I have Capricorn so many places, my hobbies can kind of turn into work too, because I want to be like a perfectionist when it comes to even my hobbies. So it's kind of like I can even suck the fun out of that. So be careful about that. When you do have hobbies, make sure it's not something else that is basically just working for you. I have so many projects and they are basically turning into work and not hobbies where I'm just having fun. Okay, so be careful with that. Okay, time to be like a kid again. Time to have fun. Time to enjoy yourself. Okay, also look to see what planets are in your 5th house. Okay, I need to do that myself. Now we have the North Node, fate, destiny, life goals, lessons, journey, calling, mission, soul's purpose. Okay, so basically the North Node is kind of what you came here to do. The South Node is who you were in a past life. The things that you did, went through, experience in a past life. You're supposed to be moving away from that and moving towards your North Node, which is what you came here to do. So you might want to look in your chart to see what planet is in your, or what astrological sign is in your North chart, in your North Node. My bad. Okay, so we also have the 7 of Wands, the 4 of Discs, and the 8 of Cups. So if you're feeling like you constantly have to protect yourself, you constantly have to defend yourself, you constantly have to have your guard up all the time, it's time to let that go. Again, it's time to have fun, let your hair down, just be free, okay? With the 4 of Discs, like I was saying with the Lantern card, you might be a little fearful that, okay, what happens when this candle runs out? I got to be super prepared. Like, you might be the type of person that's over prepared with the 4 of Disc. It's kind of like hoarding. It's kind of like I'm scared to spend all of my money. I'm worried about running out. I'm worried about scarcity. I need to hold back. So you're either holding back when it comes to the fun. It's kind of like I need to work hard and I can play later, but you don't want to like get to the end of your life and it's later and you haven't enjoyed yourself. Don't hold back the fun parts of yourself, okay? Don't feel like you have to be overly prepared. We should all be prepared, but don't allow your life to go by because you're only worried about being prepared. You gotta like get ready to get ready kind of person. Like, I understand, trust me, I get it, but you don't want to hinder yourself by doing anything too much. Is not good for you. Too much of a good thing is bad. Being too disciplined can be bad for you, okay? So again, this one is just about getting out, showing the world the real you, having fun, not having a scarcity mindset, not feeling like you have to be so defensive all the time. Another thing with Capricorns, they don't they aren't really emotional. They don't show people their emotions a lot. They're just very logical people. So don't feel like you have to constantly be logical all the time. Sometimes show a little bit of emotion. It's okay if you need to cry sometimes. It's okay if you get angry sometimes. It's okay if you just want to like forget about work and go out and have fun. We have the Eight of Cups here. Okay? This person is walking away from their emotions. The cups represent emotion. Don't be afraid to turn around and embrace those emotions there. That's going to help you. I'm back. Sorry, my camera overheated. So I'm going to try to talk fast so it doesn't happen again. Okay, so basically we were talking about this Eight of Cups here. You know, walking away from your emotions. It's time to turn around, take a look. It says work through your fears here. Time to embrace them. Time to embrace your emotions, okay? And understand that self-care is productive. You're a group of very productive people. You want to make sure that everything you do is productive. But understand, self-care is productive. Taking time to rest is productive. Taking time to have fun and rejuvenate yourself is productive. So if you need to think about it that way, think about it that way, okay? Look at the bigger picture here. We did not come here to earth just to work ourselves to death. We all have a mission, okay? We all have something we're supposed to be accomplishing. So the need to be balanced is very important. Okay, this is not going anywhere. You're gonna get here. This planet is not going anywhere right now. Turn around, address your emotions, okay? Have some fun. Do your self-care routines, and then you can get there when you need to. All right? So those are the messages I'm getting for you. Also, this card says new moon in Scorpio, and this one says full moon in Sagittarius. So you could have Sagittarius, Scorpio, and Capricorn in your birth chart, especially in any significant area of your birth chart. So again, check your first house, your fifth house, and your sun, moon, and rising and Venus signs, and also where your north node is if you are into astrology and if you are into your birth chart, okay? All right, so thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you feel called to do so. Also, if this resonated with you, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. And thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Bye. Hey, group number 4, you all chose the pathway, which can also be seen as a bridge. So we have like a pathway under the bridge, and then we have a bridge above the pathway. So I actually see the bridge before I see the pathway when I look at this card. So you can take it either way, a bridge or a pathway. Okay, so when we think about either one of those things, it's leading us somewhere. Us making the choice to go on the pathway under here or over the bridge might determine which way we actually go, since there's 2 different directions you can go in. Okay, so this reading could represent 2 different directions you can go in. Also, a bridge is known, like, let's say the bridge is over water, so it's connecting you from one piece of land to another without you having to swim in the water. So it's easier to just drive over a bridge instead of swimming in the ocean or a river or whatever to get from one side of land to another. Okay, so that's what I think about when I think about the bridge. All right, so this reading is basically what you need to hear right now, and I'm using all of the astrology decks that I have. So if you have your birth chart handy, if you know the placements in your birth chart, you may want to look into those placements again, just to see if you get any extra messages for yourself when you do that, because this is a group reading. So if you want to have more individual messages, then you may want to take some time to look into your birth chart. Okay, so the first card we have here is the Sun. Basically how you express yourself. Okay, then we have the I Relate card, and it's the 8th house. So it says this is a house of partnerships. Sorry, the 7th house, my bad. A little rusty on my Roman numerals. This is 7th house. I relate is the key phrase. And it says, this is the house of partnerships. Here is where we can see the personal relationships that involve commitment or cooperation of some sort. Marriage, spiritual union, agreement, society, and business relationships. So it's possible that you could be a Libra. Libra can represent partnerships. But also we have the Sagittarius card and we have the Ace of Wands. So you could be a fire sign, sun, moon, and rising, or Venus, or you could be specifically a Sagittarius. All right. Or you can have Sagittarius somewhere significant in your birth chart. Okay, so the sun is the way you express yourself. The moon sign is your emotions, and the rising is how other people see you. And your Venus sign is the way you express love and the way you want people to express love to you, aka your love language. All right, so Sagittarius key phrase is the explorer, adventurous, free spirit, clever, travel, impatient, argumentative, and ruler of the 9th house. Okay, so if any of those keywords fit with you, then this may be your reading. Okay, but what specifically stands out to me is free spirit and also being impatient. So we also have Vesta, which the keyword is devotion, sacred sexuality, fertility, dedication, self-discipline, focus, passion, diligence. Okay, spiritual commitment. So what I'm showing here with the Sagittarius and the impatient and the Vesta with, you know, being devoted and focusing on your passion, discipline, commitment, there is a need to stay focused on whatever your goal is. Okay, whatever your end goal is for whatever area of life you are most focused on right now. Stay focused, okay? We have surrender to the divine. So if you're having a hard time staying focused, then take some time to talk to whoever your higher power is, ancestors, angels, spirit guides, God, the Most High, divine. Some people call it. I'm just going to say it, okay? Whoever you talk to, your higher self, whoever you talk to, time to surrender to what it is that they've been asking you to do. Okay, time to ask them for help and direction if you need it. We have your commitment is being tested. I feel like this might have to do with the relationship for some of you. Okay, so literally your commitment might be tested with somebody you're in a relationship with. The communication may be off. You all may be arguing or fighting a lot. So there is a need to be very logical in the decisions that you're making. We have the King of Swords here, who is a very logical and fair person. He communicates very well. Makes decisions based off of logic and not emotion. So sometimes it can come off as a very cold energy just because they're just not as emotional. So if you're dealing with somebody who's not really as emotional, they may come off cold to you, and it's not really on purpose. That's just the way that they express themselves. Okay, so there might be a need for you to be understanding of that and be committed to understanding the way that they communicate. Okay, be mature about your communication with this person. Maybe this person is you. Maybe you're the person that's extremely logical and you don't really argue with emotion. You might need to be a little softer in your approach, a little softer in your communication when you're dealing with somebody that might be a little bit more emotional than you are. Okay, so again, we have the Ace of Disc, which is the Ace of Pentacles in traditional tarot, and we have the Ten of Cups. So that's why I say this could be about a relationship, but it could also just be about your stability. Okay, so you might feel like your stability is being tested right now, whether it be financial abundance or whether it be literally your home life, your family life, your marriage. Okay, so understand that we all go through tests, and that's just to make us better. That's just to make our connection stronger. Okay, that's to build a stronger bridge so it's not weak, so you can cross the bridge without falling into the water and drowning. Okay, so with the Ace of Cups, or excuse me, Ace of Wands, that can represent creativity. It can also represent sexuality. We do have a few cards that mention sexuality here, so we cannot rule that out. Okay. You may maybe there's some issues with your partner when it comes to sex. Maybe you guys aren't really getting along right now, so they might not feel like, you know, being intimate with you, or you might not feel like being intimate with them. And then again, intimacy doesn't always have to represent sex either. Okay, so you all might need to work on intimacy in other ways other than just sex in order to be happy again, be happy with one another. Okay, because I do see that for the most part, emotional fulfillment and financial abundance is typically not really an issue for you. But again, the emotional fulfillment could be an issue right now if you're dealing with a King of Swords, because again, they are not really emotional. They're more logical than emotional. Okay, so you might be being tested in this area. Okay, just make sure that you stay committed to making the situation work. If it's something that's not harmful to you, I definitely don't want you to stay in a relationship that's harmful to you. Okay, surrender to the divine. It might be some time for you to do some manifestation or something like that. Okay, let me see what else. And we also have the I relate card, so maybe you and your partner need to relate to each other more. If this isn't a partnership, this could be work. Okay, you might be having some problems with your co-workers, and you might feel like other people are not able to relate to you. People just don't understand you. They take everything you say and do wrong. Just understand you're being tested, and make sure that your response to them in this case is more logical than emotional, and you don't do or say anything that could hurt you in the long run. Okay, or that could hurt your connections in the business world in the long run. Okay, let me see what else here. I feel like this is more about a relationship than anything, but I know not everybody is going through a relationship right now, so I don't want to leave you all like stuck like that. Okay, group number 4, sorry about that. If you've been watching my videos, you know my camera overheats and it will just shut off. So while I was waiting for it to cool off, I did take the time to pull some more cards for you all. So we got the manifestation card. So again, that's what I was saying with the surrender to the divine. It's time for you to start asking for what you want. If you need clarity in a situation, ask for it, manifest it. If you need help understanding your partner, help with your commitment, whether it be with a business partnership, a romantic partnership, a project that you might be working on with somebody else, because we have the Ace of Wands, so you could be working on some sort of creative project. You know, ask for help with your commitment, with your devotion. We have the blessings and abundance here. The Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Discs, and the Ten of Cups. That's all about new opportunities being given to you. Okay, so you don't want to ruin any opportunities if you make an emotional decision too quickly. We have the Wait card. Okay, so the King of Swords is here to make sure you don't make any overly emotional decisions, or any decisions while you're overly emotional. Wait until you have calmed down so that you can be more rational and logical about the way that you are making your decisions. And then we have the If You Believe and Remain Positive. So that's going back to manifestation, blessings, abundance, and surrendering to the divine. Make sure that you are trying to stay as positive as you can, even if there's a breakdown in communication with someone, even if they're not understanding your vision, your emotions, your feelings. Try to see if you can manifest it, okay? For those of you that pray about it. For those of you that manifest it. For those of you that have spirit guides or you talk to the universe or whatever. Do what you have to do to help yourself to deal with whatever situation you're dealing with. And a lot of the times we can pray for ourselves, we can manifest for ourselves, but we can also do that for other people as well. So if you need somebody else to understand you, do whatever magic you do, okay? Whatever manifestations you do, whatever prayer you can do for yourself, you can do it for other people as well. Okay, so that way whatever situation you're dealing with can be handled amicably, if that's a word. I think it is. I'm talking fast because I don't want my camera to overheat again. Okay, so again, you all could be a fire sign. You could specifically be a Sagittarius. I think that's all the signs that I'm seeing so far. Okay, but it seems like there's a need to balance emotion and logic when it comes to you all in some situation or person that you're dealing with. But the good thing is, once you're able to show how committed and how devoted you are to making whatever the circumstance is work, you are going to be blessed for it. Okay, so try to remain positive. I hope this resonated with you. If it didn't, you might want to try a different pile. This one seemed to be very specific. If it did resonate with you, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I definitely appreciate all the people who have taken the time to subscribe and also leave comments and engage. It's definitely helpful. And I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Bye.